G'day guys, Smith City here for Smith City Prog Review as well. I'm not really reviewing anything. It's my birthday today. And it's been a bit weird the last week and a bit. I've been trying to manage a sort of a fungal sort of candida infection in my mouth. And I was on top of it just naturally. I didn't really want to go to the rural hospital if I didn't have to, and sort of use resources and stuff there. So I was doing mouth washes and salt gargles and changing my diet around, and just eating anything that didn't have yeast in it and all that sort of stuff, and started getting better. And then yesterday, sort of in the little bumps and stuff on the inside of my mouth, they started to ooze out this white gunk, like it was sort of like textured a little bit, so it wasn't clear. And I'm like, okay, best I sort that out. So I waited till the end of my shift and had to see an after hours doctor. And being in a rural area where there's not a lot of population here, I didn't take that long at all. Like, comparing the wait times for stuff that I've been in the William Angular or other hospitals, and sometimes you're waiting up, especially after hours, you're waiting between 6-7 hours before you actually even get in and get looked at with your symptoms. So probably 45 minutes to an hour I got seen. And lovely, the guy sort of directed me in there. He took my details, he tried to put my name in the system. He thought that he had treated me before, and I'm like, mate, I'm from Melbourne. I'm not on your system. So I had to fill in this document, which is fine. And so I just waited there. Lovely lady. I won't mention anyone's names just because, just in case they don't want people to know that they're working there, because that sort of stuff can happen. But yeah, woman, she was really lovely. Gentleman, really, really lovely. And then the doctor who saw me couldn't keep a straight face when he was talking to me, because he had a Swedish accent and he sounded like the Swedish chef from the Muppets. But yeah, he was a lovely man as well, and he sort of had a bit of a look in my mouth, and my tongue wasn't as bad when he actually had a look at it, which probably earlier on in the day I scraped my tongue with a toothbrush and stuff. But I had a look in the sides of my mouth, and I showed him some pictures of it when I was really aggravated, a week and a bit ago. And yeah, he gave me some nystatin, which is like just an anti-fungal mouthwash that you swish around, and it's supposed to be vanilla flavoured. Sort of tastes like, put Aerogard on your skin, and then like you stupidly, eat something or whatever, and you just taste that residual Aerogard. That's what it sort of tasted like, with a hint of vanilla. And so I've started taking that. It says you've got to keep it below 25 degrees, so it's in the fridge, because in the caravan there's no way you can keep it below 25 degrees. As long as it doesn't freeze, that's the main thing, it says on the packet. So I started taking it. I wouldn't say there's been sort of really any massive improvements inside my mouth. It does say you can drink coffee on it, but there might be some side effects. I haven't had a coffee for a week and a half. It's my birthday today, so I'm just like, it's my birthday. I'll die if I want to. You would die too if it happened to you. So if it makes it worse for a day, so be it. So I got myself a coffee. They're lovely in Tarunda, IGA. There's a little shop there that sell food and stuff for locals and also people passing by. And the staff there are lovely and makes pretty good coffee as well. The Asian lady there that makes the coffee there. I've had it with just normal milk, and this has got a bit of sweetness to it. There's no chocolate sprinkles or anything like that, so I think it's sweetened almond milk, so probably not the best to have, and I don't have sugar in my coffee anyway, so probably not the best to have sugar with this bacterial fungal infection in my mouth, because yeast feeds off sugar. So after this I'll head back and brush my teeth and whatever, and then go back out and provide some services to some of my clientele. And obviously I've just been eating wheat bix in the morning and eggs and avocado at night, and that's been pretty much me, with obviously some natural yogurt. And that's all I've really been eating the last week and a half. So I also decided to get myself some hummus, and I've just been enjoying this in the car with the aircon on because it's bloody hot outside. Some people at home have been really nice and sent messages and well wishes and stuff for my birthday, which is fantastic. And sort of nice to be a bit more connected. Because here I'm by myself, so it's like you do what you do during the day, and then you go back, stay in your caravan. It gets a bit cooler around a certain time, and then you put yourself to bed and you get up and do the next day. And so you really don't have too much engagement. Yeah, there are other people, travellers and people with caravans and stuff like that are there, but they're sort of doing their own thing, and there's not a lot of people there now at this point in time. September the 15th, I think there's one long-term stay right next to me, a relative of that person, a couple of spots away. That's it. There was a guy that camped up the other day on a bike, on a push bike, not a motorbike, just with a giant backpack, and put up a tent, stayed there for 2 days, and then he sort of took off again early yesterday morning. Don't know what it's for. Could be for charity. You could be a madman. You have to have some sort of and when I say madness, it's not a bad thing. Some sort of madness to want to be on a bike. I don't know what direction he was heading, but either way, Derby or Broom's 4 hours away, and the other way is at Halls Creek, is also 4 hours away. So I can only imagine how long it would take to get there via bike. He had pretty big calf muscles, but just that hot sun, like just dehydrated. I'd be pulling over every second, just collapsing. I don't know, I've dug trenches and stuff in the heat before, but not this heat. Broome at least has the sea breeze and stuff circulating through the air. Here in Fitzroy Crossing, the heat is amplified by the fact that there's none of that, and it feels a hell of a lot hotter than 37, and the fact that it's every single day around mid to high 30s, and I don't do heat very well. I don't do heat at all very well. I'm normally in singlet and shorts and stuff. When it's 10 degrees in Melbourne. I suppose when I upload this, if you made it to this far in the video, anyone that's got a birthday today or a birthday whenever they watch it, happy birthday, especially to people that may not necessarily have a lot of friends or have difficult family dynamics and that sort of stuff, and you feel isolated within your experience and like nobody cares or whatever. And I'm not saying that about my experience. I know I've got plenty of people in my life that care about me, but yeah, I just wanted to extend that to those people, because out here I'm glad that I've developed some self-care and some mental health strategies and journaling and meditating and writing some poetry and those sorts of things, because I feel those things make me feel connected with the larger scale things, not necessarily to people or places or things, just connecting me to more than just my experience in a caravan. I suppose if I didn't have those tools at my disposal, I could probably see it getting more lonely than what it is in a very confined space. It is a bit of a waffle on, but I'm sort of enjoying talking, because you don't get to sort of really do that a lot out here. Well, there goes a whole packet, and I was famished. Like, I have not been eating all that well. When I say all that well, I haven't been eating a lot because of my mouth issue, and so I just smashed them down. I wouldn't say that that's done any more damage to the sides of my mouth or anything like that, so that's good. Now, where the hell's the lid gone? There it is. Thought about getting carrots instead of the rice biscuits. I feel there's more chewing involved, because of both sides of my mouth are sort of like the inside of my gums are protruding out with these sort of like white lumps. There's more chance of my teeth catching it and biting on it and then creating issues. And to be honest, I think that's how it first started, this issue. Like, going back many years ago, I would have many problems of biting my gum whilst eating. And I've got them on both sides, and I sort of wear around. So they're basically right here. You've got your buccal flaps there, and they're sort of were inflamed and white lumps or whatever. And then just below them, sort of going in that sort of direction, there's these little bumps, which obviously is the yeast infection. And it just shows you, kids, that you got to brush your teeth and keep good oral hygiene. Or was that Carl Sanderlands? It couldn't have been, surely. white Isuzu. That guy in that white Isuzu 4-wheel drive looked like Kyle Sandilands, I kid you not. So if you ever see this, Kyle, you've got a double in WA. So yeah, I wanted to treat myself for my birthday. I thought, I could get like a muffin and put a candle in or whatever, but muffins probably got way more sugar than, sort of sweetened almond milk. And I thought that would aggravate my mouth more. So I love hummus and I love rice biscuits. But yeah, I bought a second packet to have later on. But I suppose I've got some hummus now that I can put on my eggs and avocado tonight. And yeah, can't wait until it clears up, if it clears up, so I can have bread again. Like, I miss toast and, first world problems, I know, but, you sort of take for granted a little bit those sort of availabilities that you'd normally consume. You can't consume them anymore, because if I had bread that had heaps of yeast in it, I already had this experience about 4 days ago. I bought roast chicken, thinking, oh yeah, the chicken with protein, surely it's got no yeast in it, whatever. Went back to the caravan for lunch, started eating it, started to feel like instantly start to do shit to my gum, like, so the areas in my mouth, and I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel too good. Look on the back of the packet and the skin contained a yeast extract, and I'm like, oh no. Chicken was nice while it lasted, so I threw that in the bin. To be honest, I probably could have taken it around the local community and seen if someone wanted it, but someone may have, but might have been sort of a trust thing where people could have been saying no if I offered it around, so it just went in the bin, and unfortunately that chicken was killed for nothing. But it tasted good for what I ate. Oh. Yeah, it was really windy a couple of days ago, like really, really, really windy. That was the day where South and Western Australia got flogged by the weather with the winds and the thunderstorms and the rain and stuff. We had probably bad wind here for a couple of hours in the morning, and then it stopped. And it does get a bit cooler of an evening, and I do enjoy sort of the sleep routine. It's not really a routine, but the sleep time that I have in the caravan. It could be 8:30, 9 o'clock. I sort of jump into bed, and it's probably getting closer to low 20s or mid 20s, and you've got a nice sort of breeze coming through the caravan. And then just hearing sort of the nature and stuff. And then when you do wake up in the morning, because you've got the mesh windows open of the caravan, you get the breeze coming in, at like 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning before it starts to heat up again. And I really enjoy that, because obviously I enjoy the cool. So and it'll be very interesting to see what things are like, whether I go back for a holiday or move back to Melbourne full time in some time in the future. How I acclimatise back into sort of more sporadic temperature changes. Is an 18-degree day where I would normally feel hot back in Melbourne, is that going to feel really cold to me where I'm wearing jeans and a jumper? Which I can't see happening, but who knows? Like, I dare say staying here for a period of time, having consecutive day after day after day after day of mid-30s where it probably feels more like 40 degrees and above. Obviously do things internally. Also, the thing with that probably hasn't played, that has played some sort of an impact on my immune system as well. My body's not used to this, so which obviously probably hasn't helped naturally fight the infection in my mouth. But the local Aboriginal community are mostly lovely people. I've obviously seen a few bits and pieces just around town and stuff like that, which obviously I won't comment on. But yeah, people know me sort of by now, and if I've seen them a few times around the area, they're sort of waving to me or saying hi or whatever, and I was sort of a big, I wouldn't say, it was sort of more of a shock. Obviously, being in Melbourne around plenty of people with different races and different cultures and stuff like that, and we're all human at the end of the day, to then come into a town that is just mainly Aboriginals, and sort of makes you reflect a little bit on the stolen generation stuff and what they would have experienced with the white people going in and stealing people away from their families and whatnot, and so I feel honoured and privileged to be here, being on their land and their soil and their country. So, and yeah, they've definitely made me feel most welcome here for the most part. So I might just leave it there, and a bit of a waffle on, but sort of been good to just speak. And I don't know when any of these will get uploaded, if at all. Sort of in the process of working out whether I want to keep my YouTube channel, whether I don't want to keep my YouTube channel, depending on where I move after this. Do I want to keep doing my beer reviews and reels? Do I not? Do I want to close down my business? Do I not? I'm not necessarily like they're things that aren't weighing on my mind or stressing me, but they're things that I am sort of contemplating, sort of my future with different things that I do. So whether it gets uploaded or not, we'll just see. And thank you for spending some time with me on my birthday. So 37, one more year close to retirement. And I'll catch you on the next